Welcome to Milo's Minds, ladies and gentlemen. So, I've been doing a lot of thinking about this, about China. And you're going to say, well, what's so important about China? Well, China makes a lot of interesting blasters, but China is also a country of controversy. But, in my opinion, and I've looked into this thing at great lengths, and it is unfair to hate an entire country or to hate upon an entire race of people because that would be racism or something similar to that, because they're copying blasters or whatever. But not everything that China makes is a copy. There are many creators in China who make blasters themselves. They're not copies, they're original Chinese works. For example, this right here. This is an S200 fire ant. This was made in China. Okay? The creator lives in China. I've talked to him at length. He's a very nice man, very wise and knowledgeable man. Okay? I mean, simple. You know, but there are some people who will make blasters that are copies of other blasters, such as this guy here. This is a copy of a Valkyrie. No exaggeration. A Valkyrie is a Chinese blaster as well. But you have to consider this. There's only so many different firing systems out there for a blaster, period. And I'm sure I'm going to forget a couple, and I'm sure I'm going to get corrected in the comments, which is fine. But there's basically HPA, there's flywheel, and there's spring powered, and there's like hemp or like rubber band, which is like a string shot or something like that. Those are basically all the different firing systems out there. So really, all it comes down to is whatever firing system you pick, you just design whatever shell you want around it. Okay? There is no more new firing systems out there, basically, unless somebody designs something new that I haven't seen yet, or anything. But everything is not a copy. Everything that comes out of China is not a copy. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But here's something else that's interesting. This is what's known as an SP50. This comes out of China. This has been out of China for over a year. Okay? I want you to look at this blaster. There's a new blaster coming out from Game Face. It's identical. Identical shell aesthetics. So is the one from Game Face a copy? Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. But my point is, it's just like everywhere else in the world, there's good people and bad people. There's good creators, there's bad creators. There's people that design great blasters. There's ones that just copy other people's stuff. But you can't hate on anybody, or you can't hate on an entire country, race, or civilization, just because of a few bad people. That would be unfair. That would be like somebody from Russia hating on somebody from the United States, just because they don't like whoever is in charge at the White House, you know, or something similar along that. You just can't do that. You cannot lump all of the Chinese creators in together. And I will tell you one great thing, because I buy blasters from everywhere. I love buying blasters from China for one reason. They're not Karens. Okay? If you show this to a blaster designer in the United States, a shell like this, they're going to look at you and say no. Quote, because the I'm going to get shot thing is going to get brought up 67 times. Okay? China doesn't care. Would they put orange tips on their blasters at the request of the United States? There you go. But it's removable. It's just an add-on piece after production. That's all that is. But we're also starting to see from blasters that are clones. Like this is the clone of a Gecko, okay, with a pump kit and some other nice little features on it. Basically turns into a nice little carbine. This is, believe it or not, the third generation of a gecko that was cloned. Generation 1 was the original clone. That was the direct one-to-one copy, okay? Generation 2, they changed a few things, and now we're at Generation 3. One of the main features to Generation 3, this has an expanded plunger tube already built into it. That's why it shoots so soft out of the box. It has the normal spring that they would use for one of their stock geckos or stock lizzies, but because the plunger tube is so big, that's why you're only getting about 50 FPS out of it. The way to fix it is you just put in a bigger spring. You know, like a nice 12 kilogram chrono spring ought to do it. But you know, but another thing though, to make this blaster different from say a gecko, right there. That's a slide lock. Right? The original gecko did not have a slide lock to it. Okay? People in the very beginning said S200s were copies of geckos. Nope, sorry, it's not. It's got a slide lock. You know, I mean, it's, you can't say everything that comes out of China is a copy because it's clearly not. You know, you can't say everything is stolen IP or whatever. No, it's not. And there's a lot of blasters that are really nice that come out of China. The only thing that they may need, like in this guy, is just a bigger spring. The same thing with this guy. Same thing with this guy. That's all they need is bigger springs. And they're just as powerful as the stuff we have in the community, if not better. The reason being is, these are injection molded. Most of the blasters like the Gecko, all the ones in the community are 3D printed. The only time you will see an injection molded Gecko is if it's from China or somewhere like that. You know, and everybody knows injection molding is far superior. But the problem is it costs so much for the molds, so much to have it done. And to my knowledge, there's only one blaster in the community as of right now that is going to be injection molded, and that's the Winfield by Shellington. You know, I mean, that's the main reason why you don't do injection molding. But not everything's a copy. It isn't. And I'm going to tell you, a lot of really nice ones are coming out from China. I've seen some of the new ones that are coming out. I'm rather impressed. So I'm going to order a bunch of these blasters. I will try them on their own merits. You know, because I'm not going to be closed-minded, and I'm not going to just pass judgment on an entire country or an entire race of people because of a few unscrupulous characters, because that would be unfair. But in any event, these are my personal thoughts on this subject, you know, but China's a pretty decent country. They have really nice blasters. We should try some, you know, but these are my personal thoughts. Until next time, this is Milo's Mods signing off.